So, hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Let me know on the chat how are you feeling, how are you doing, do you hear me well? My name is Evart. I'm one of the co-founders of Recruit Lab, and I will walk you through a step-by-step guide today on how to create attractive job ads. Feel free to add questions during the webinar. You will find the questions tab on the right bottom corner. Let me know if you have any, and I will make sure that we have enough time for those questions as well at the end of the webinar. Hello. So, really good to see so many of you here. But let's start. So I have prepared 7 steps for today's webinar. And these steps have always been the ones I recommend companies to follow if they truly want to improve their recruitment marketing results, and if they want to improve the way they present their company in the recruitment process. Especially now, if we have seen a lot of changes during the last couple of years. And I think job ads still have a lot of potential, although we all know that this post and pray method is not working anymore. Then still, my experience has taught me that if you put a bit more effort into job ads, then definitely great or attractive job ads will help you get more suitable candidates. And especially if you put more effort into the story you are telling as an employer. So yeah, I see a question that will the recording will be available after the webinar. Yes, we are recording this webinar, and we will send out the recording. You can also download my slides that I'm showing you today, so you will get all the resources. Okay, but let's move to the first step. And I think this is the most strategic one. You definitely have to have some kind of insights or input from the leadership team and the employees. Why it's important? I think that storytelling is a huge part of recruitment, and you have to get the story right. So as recruiters, we have to keep in mind that it's not only our story that we're telling, but we're also presenting the whole company. So we have to make sure that the arguments or stories that our candidates hear during the recruitment process, starting from the job ad, will match to each other. So there can't be any contradictions what we as recruiters are telling to our candidates and what the hiring managers or team members later will tell them. So how to do it, how to get this valuable input or insights from others? There are several ways. Of course, you can do surveys, you can do workshops, brainstorming sessions, interviews. The choice is yours, and there's actually no right or wrong answer. It depends how much into details you would like to get, and of course how much time you have, because we all know that usually the new employees were needed already yesterday, so there's always a time pressure. So I think the quickest way how to get this valuable input is to just schedule a meeting with your team or the closest team members who would be engaged in the recruitment process, and if a team meeting is not possible, then schedule a couple of one-on-one meetings to ask the right questions that will definitely help you create better job ads. Here's a list of some questions I have used over the years as I have worked with different companies. For example, what's the main reason you like working here? Why someone should join us? What are our strengths or weaknesses? Who won't thrive at our company, or what kind of tips would you give to new employees, for example? And getting answers to those questions from hiring managers, team members will definitely help you, because you don't have to, if you start writing your job ad, you don't have to start from the scratch. You already have really great phrases you can use from those interviews or meetings. And usually people who are really engaged and who are enjoying their jobs, they are usually describing the job, the company, the culture really emotionally, and they're usually using really interesting phrases or words. So this will definitely help you create ads that will stand out from competition. So and maybe one example from our team as well. We are in the middle of the process, or we are preparing ourselves because we are starting to hire new team members soon to our team as well. And what I did to get this valuable information from my team members. First, I sent out 3 questions via email. So why did you join a team? What do you enjoy the most? What has been the most difficult thing since the first day? And I decided to collect this information via email so that my team members could have more time to think through their emotions and challenges and experience. And as they wrote down their answers, then again, I already have the phrases I can use in job ads. And the second part of the information gathering was during a brainstorming session. It was around 2 hours, and with our team members, we talked about our company culture, like what are the red flags, or what kind of culture is not acceptable for them, and on the contrary, what kind of culture will make them succeed. And we also described the person who would succeed at Recruit Lab and who would not succeed at Recruit Lab. And again, really valuable information for me, as I have to start with the recruitment processes. If you are doing this, then I definitely recommend taking notes, and you should definitely create a toolbox for you. This is one great example from Karina, who is the employer brand manager at Tesla. And we had a webinar with Karina a couple of months ago. I will share the recording with you as well, so you can, if you are interested, you can take a look at it. But yeah, we talked with Karina about how to get this valuable input from your team members, and how to create a really unique employee value proposition that will help you in your recruitment process. But yeah, I would recommend doing this at least once a year, or even more often if there have been a lot of changes in your company, or if the number of employees has increased rapidly, for example. And of course, those questions I showed you earlier, those are only the examples. You should use questions that address the topics that are relevant in your company. And having this information from your hiring managers, team members, will not only help you create attractive job ads, but also, as I mentioned, storytelling is a big part of recruitment. Having this information will help you tell a story that is really that is more compelling, and candidates really enjoy stories that have some trust elements or proof elements in it. I will come back to this topic later as well. So let's move on to the next step. You should definitely have a profile and a job description. I think the number one reason why so many job ads fail is that they're more like job descriptions, not job ads. But you actually need both of them. So you need this marketing approach, and you need this attractive job ad you can publish in different channels. But you also need this description of the job or description of the profile for yourself, and of course for your hiring manager as well, to make sure that the expectations towards the process, towards the candidates are the same. And again, I recommend having a one-on-one meeting with a hiring manager you are working with, even if you have searched for a similar position lately, or even if you have worked together with this hiring manager for a long time. You should definitely have at least 20 or 30-minute meeting to just set the expectations. And why it's important? It's important to go through the most relevant topics. For example, what are the must-haves, what are the nice-to-haves we are looking for in candidates? Because otherwise, we will end up with a list of 15 or 20 requirements in a job ad, and this is definitely something we don't want to have, because this type of or this kind of job ads will not bring the results we're looking for. It's important to get this information from your hiring manager, like what's the main challenge or goal of the role. Again, use the help from the manager to it will make it easier for you to describe the role more interesting in a job ad if you have more information from the hiring manager. Then candidates are looking more and more, or they want to know more how a company is measuring the success. So what are the main KPIs, the main metrics, for example? Who are the closest team members? It always makes sense to have a short meeting with them as well, or just talk over a coffee break to get to know them better, or to learn more about the team spirit, traditions they have in their team, etc. And of course, it's really important to go through the topic with the hiring manager, like how we work, or what do we expect from our new employees as well. Is the location important? Is the time zone important? Or do we have some active working hours? How flexible is the company? Especially nowadays, where a lot of companies are offering remote work or offering hybrid working opportunities. Candidates really want to see this information already on job ads. So this will definitely help you. I see there's a question like, how many nice to have and must haves would you recommend on job ad? Usually, I think up to like 3 or maximum 5 must haves. And other requirements should be like nice to haves, or maybe presented in a quote or in a testimonial, or I will show you examples later. But definitely not more than 5. Then the next step: research and inspiration. So you definitely have to be aware of what kind of story your competitors are telling in their job ads, what kind of recruitment arguments they are using. You should look, if location is important, then definitely look or how other job ads in your location look like, what kind of arguments they are using. And I would recommend creating a separate folder for good examples. Again, Karina from Destio talked about it in our previous webinar. So take a look at this webinar as well. But I am always, for example, taking screenshots of job ads I see or notice on different social media platforms, for example, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. So I would recommend creating a separate folder. And it might even be a challenge for a team, for example, to collect as many great or maybe bad examples from your competitors or other companies, and you can really learn from them. Take a time to analyze their design, their structure, photos they are using, what kind of arguments they're using, how's the copywriting, and how's the candidate journey built. Like, I mean, if you see one ad on Facebook, for example, what happens if I click apply now button, how appealing is the recruitment landing page they are directing their candidates to, or how easy or difficult it is to apply. So there's a lot we can learn from others. There's a lot we can learn from others' mistakes. So I definitely recommend using this opportunity. For example, why I like Scoros job ads on social media, especially, they're always using using photos of their own team members, and they're fun, they're engaging, they seem to be friendly. Then Testleo even created a separate CVI for recruitment marketing and employer branding to make it more attractive. Co-module, what they're doing really good is that they're always showing their mission, like why they exist and how this new employee can contribute to their journey. So yeah, I would definitely recommend doing this. One thing, I saw there are a lot of questions already. Please add those questions to the questions tab so I can make sure that I will notice all of them. And I will come back to the questions at the end of the webinar. But let's move on to the fourth step, structure of the job ad. I think the most important point to stress out here is that different channels definitely need different layouts and different approaches. And I think this traditional layout, you can see it here on the left. We all know this traditional layout. There's a job title, maybe a little photo, and then something about the company, something about the role, responsibilities, requirements, and contacts, or maybe 3 bullet points about what we offer as a company. But what the traditional layout or the traditional structure is missing, it's the most important part, your unique selling points. And in today's market, we definitely need to sell our company. We need to sell the challenge we're offering to people. So what will help you to create more compelling job ads is this acronym you see here on the right with 5 letters, and it stands for what's in it for me. So to get your target group's attention, your number 1 priority should be telling telling people what they get out of joining your company and this specific team. So it's not about you, it's not about your company, it's always about them. So sell more, request less. And there's a thumb rule that you usually have only 10 seconds to have their attention or to grab their attention, because people have luxury to move on. There are so many offers out there. So it's really easy if within the first 10 seconds they don't see anything attractive for them. The design is not attractive, but they don't see what's in it for them, then they will definitely click and move on to the next job ads. We also have to keep in mind that, as we know, 80% of the people are so-called passive candidates. So they're not looking for a new job, but they're definitely giving you some attention when it's more about them than you. So that's why I would recommend, so instead of using this traditional way or the traditional structure, use this kind of recruitment landing page and structure of different sections. You should definitely, as I mentioned, you have around 10 seconds. So use this first or so-called hero section to really stand out and really tell something interesting about this new challenge or the company Then a bit about the employer, but again, it's not about your history and telling what you have achieved, but to turn it around and think about what's in it for the candidate. So describe the company in a way that that shows that this company can really support the candidate to grow, to improve, to learn something new. Then you need compelling recruitment arguments. You can add some trust elements, for example, like quotes or testimonials from managers, team members. And then we start or we add some requirements or a description of our perfect candidate. There haven't been a lot of research done with job ads, but there's one from University of Vermont, and they studied around 1,000 applicants. And what they found out is that ads that focused on these needs, supplies, fit. So what I mentioned before, ads that focused on this, what's in it for me, received almost 3 times as many highly rated applicants as the ads with this demands, abilities wording. So you have to sell more. You have to show what you offer, and you should set the requirements or write about the requirements at the end of the job ad. And I think recruitment landing pages have become so popular among recruiters because they are supporting this new way of creating job ads. You can really structure it in a better way, and you can really add more information in a way that it's easy to read, easy to receive the information. Here are some of the examples. I will also share some links to the chat as well. They are done with our tool. I will show you the ads, and you can take a look at the landing pages. Just a second. So 3 examples. We were talking about structure and layout. So definitely, if you are advertising on social media, the ad visual and the text you're using or the arguments you're using should be different than the layout of the recruitment landing page, for example. Because with the first with the job ad on social media, it's your goal to just grab the attention during the first 10 seconds. And the goal with the recruitment landing page is truly give the arguments that will make someone push the apply now button. But if you would share like a regular PDF file on social media, it wouldn't work. Or if you share a job ad, like the traditional job ad that you would usually use on job boards, again, it won't work on social media, and you won't get any applicants, or at least you don't get as many applicants as if you use this two steps, 2-level advertising, let's say. So to wrap it up, don't start with the requirements. Sell the idea first, and show people what they can get out of your like joining your company and the team. The 5th step, copywriting. I think this is one of the most challenging part of creating job ads, because often it's difficult to write or find the right arguments, find the right phrases to use. But there are some tools, most of them are free to use, that might help you. Gender Decoder, Grammarly, or BlaBlaMeter, or this Hemingway app. This app will help you make your writing more clear. Just copy and paste your text to this app, and they will suggest better wordings, better phrases, and how to write in shorter sentences, for example. There are also more and more AI tools that also can help you in your copywriting challenges. So, for example, Jasper, again, you can test it out for free. Copy your text, and Jasper will suggest some other wordings. It doesn't mean that you always have to use this kind of tools, but definitely I would recommend testing them. You will get new ideas, inspiration for your job ads. What's important about the copywriting, definitely you should avoid those overused terms or cliches. I once did a research, so I collected 200 published job ads on different job boards, and we took a look what kind of phrases companies are using on their job ads, especially in this what we offer you section. And basically 4 overused phrases stand out. The first one, we offer you competitive salary, fun, friendly, supportive team, interesting job, and opportunities for growth or learning opportunities. So those are the phrases you can really find from every second job ad. It is, of course, language specific, but I think if we are looking at job ads in different languages, I think the picture is pretty much the same. So definitely those phrases or those arguments are important for candidates. They are looking for an interesting job. They are looking for, who's not looking for a friendly and fun team? But if everyone is adding those or using those phrases, you don't stand out as an employer. So you should think about how to really describe, if you are offering interesting job, what makes this job interesting. If the team is friendly, fun, add some information, like what kind of traditions you have, or what are you doing together. If you have a modern office, don't write about it, add photos of your office. So really prove the arguments and describe them more to really stand out. Yeah, and there are a lot of, I think you have noticed on LinkedIn, there are a lot of jokes about job ads, and there are cliches that are being used. Like, what does fast-paced mean? It means understaffed, or competitive salary. We don't even pay market rate. So yeah. Take a look at those, and take a look at your job ads, and try to find ways how to avoid those cliches. One framework that I recommend using if you start writing, and if you have collected input from your team members, hiring managers, if you have some inspiration from others as well, and then think about what are the main up to 5 arguments you would like to present on your job ad. Is it interesting job, learning opportunities, something else? Then think about how you say it or how you write about it to avoid those cliches and the overused terms. And then always add some kind of proof. For example, as I did the example before, that if you have a modern office, don't write about it, show it with pictures. If you're telling that you are really a flexible company, or offering flexible working conditions, maybe you can add a testimonial from your team member who is talking about how he is working, or how he's using this flexibility. Add facts or research results, for example. Maybe you have some interesting data from your employee surveys. Add some kind of public documents if you have. For example, again, a couple of weeks ago, we did a webinar with Molly Johnson-Jones. Again, you will find this recording from our YouTube channel. But Flexa Careers is linking this document, Flexa's way of working, to their job ads to really prove that they are flexible. They have listed different things they're offering to their employees in terms of free days, or in terms of how they do meetings, how often do they meet, and so on. So yeah, always add proof. What else from this webinar with Molly? She also shared some data about what candidates are looking in terms of flexibility, especially. So if you're interested in that, you will get some data from this webinar. But definitely, if it's possible, add information about salary, add information about the recruitment process, just to set the expectations. Also, candidates are looking more and more about the information about onboarding, because especially if they will start working remotely, it's really important how the onboarding process looks like. So add information about it already on your job ad. And yeah, use quotes and phrases from your team members. You don't have to create those job ads alone. The sixth step about design. So the research, there are a couple of researchers that tell that you will lose every second candidate if they consider your ad to be visually unattractive. So and I think this job ad design has been a constant struggle for recruiters. I remember from my years as a recruiter as well, because involving designers is often time consuming and costly, and there haven't been easy to use tools for recruiters to create attractive job ads. And this was actually one of the reasons why we started with Recruit Lab a couple of years ago. We were looking for a tool for our own team. We were working for a recruitment agency back then, and we were looking for a recruitment software with recruitment marketing tools that would enable us to easily create attractive recruitment landing pages and then manage our applicants, automate some tasks, and do video interviewing. And as we didn't find a suitable solution for our team, then we created Recruit Lab. And like designing job ads is definitely one thing Recruit Lab helps recruiters with. And why it's important, I think if we take a look at the again, traditional job ads that are saying that we have an exciting new opportunity for you in our company. And if the job ad looks like this, then it isn't exciting at all. And especially if there's a sentence at the bottom of the job ad that you might probably not hear back from us. So it's not appealing at all, and it doesn't make me want to apply for this company. So I'll show you how our job ad tool will make it easy for you to create attractive recruitment landing pages. And there's an example. So you should see my screen now. And yeah, so we built this job editor or job ad tool that is really easy to use. And how it works, it's basically you can build recruitment landing pages that consist of different sections. And you can decide what kind of sections you would like to use. So first you can customize it or make it your own. You can use your own color. You can use your own font. You can upload your own photos, as you see here. And you can decide what kind of sections you would like to use. So by just clicking on this button, you will see all the opportunities or all the different sections. You can add a hero section, different text sections. You can add images. You can even add video if you have an attractive video showing the office, or some video of your team event or something like this. You can add application form, of course, quotes from your hiring managers or team members. You can add employer stories, as we are used on LinkedIn or Instagram, Facebook. And and it's really easy to rearrange the section, just clicking on the buttons, and you can add your own text, remove it, or add the buttons. So without any special designing skills, or without any help from your IT department or your marketing department, you can create really easily create this kind of attractive recruitment landing pages that you can use on social media. But also modern job boards will also allow you to add this link to the job board, and you can integrate or get candidates from job boards really easily to your account in Recruit Lab. And if you're ready with the job ad, you can publish it, and it's really easy to again create. Sorry for the slow internet connection, but yeah, it's really easy to publish it on social media as well, and start with paid social media recruitment campaigns. Just click on this button. You can choose. I have to choose the project. Let's say this. You can choose the daily budget, the number of days you want this campaign to be active, and the system will show the approximate number of how many people you will reach with this campaign and with your job ads. And by clicking next, we will receive the information, and we will set up the campaign on social media and create the visuals you need to promote your job ads. So that's one opportunity how to easily create or design recruitment landing pages. Of course, there are other free tools or other tools that help you create some kind of PDF files or JPG files for job boards, for example. And I think most modern job boards also allow you to upload your photos or use this recruitment landing page or this specific link to promote your promote your job ads. Then the next step, how to. I think this is one of the steps that we often forget, how to double check if the job ad we created really is compelling or not. I would recommend doing this 5-second test. It's a method of user research that will help you get feedback from your team members or managers or friends who are maybe working on similar positions within 5 seconds. And how you should do it, if you're ready with your job ad, whether it's a social media ad or a recruitment landing page, show it to your target group or the test group. And really show it to them for 5 seconds or maybe up to 10 seconds, and ask those 3 questions, what's your first impression about the job ad? What grabbed your attention? What words or sentences can you recall from this job ad? And this will give you the idea like how people who are not familiar with the ad or familiar with the company, what kind of information they will grab from this job ad. And usually the feedback you will get will help you do some changes in copywriting, or maybe even in the structure of the ad. So yeah, those are the 7 steps I would recommend you to follow. Of course, there's a lot of other tips and tricks, but I think those are the basics. And if you follow or go through this guide, you definitely improve your job ads, and this will definitely help you get more suitable candidates. There's a question from the chat. What are the thoughts on putting the salary on adverts? Well, definitely. I wouldn't say that you should always do that, but I think you should consider whether salary you are offering is like a strong recruitment argument or not. So if you know that you are offering more than your most of your competitors, then definitely salary should be on your job ad, because this is one of your strongest, not the strongest, but still a strong argument you can use. When you know that it's not, or you're paying less than others, then I wouldn't add it to job ads. But again, the earlier you talk about the salary, the better, because otherwise you will go through the recruitment process. And if you leave this communication about the salary to the last stage of the recruitment process, you might find out that you have just wasted your time and candidate has wasted it there. So the rule might be, or could be, that the earlier you talk about the salary, the better. But you should definitely think through what are the main arguments you should use in the first stage. Again, I see one question that how much information we should add to this recruitment landing page. How much is too much? Again, this is something you can test with your team members, or test with the target group you are after. Job ads that might look weird to us might work really well on the target group we are targeting, because people are looking for different things. And for example, if you are looking for entry-level positions, or entry-level positions, or positions where you know that there will be more candidates than usually, then I would add a bit more requirements, not at the beginning to the job ad, but still at the end of the job ad. But I would add more requirements, and maybe even design the application form with a couple of more fields than usually, just to filter out more candidates. But if you're looking for, I don't know, engineers or profiles where you know that there won't be a lot of candidates, then I would structure the job ad in a way that we will start with the most important information that is interesting for candidates, and with each section we will add more detailed information. But for those who don't need this information for decision making, then they can always apply earlier. So I would place the application form a bit before all the detailed information about maybe onboarding process, or how for example, training, how we train our people, how we give feedback, and details like this. What else? There's a question that how many job ads or recruitment landing pages you can create with Recruit Lab. There's no limit, actually, so you can create as many job ads as you like. You can also reuse them, just make copies out of them, and it's really easy to change change the layouts. Yeah, but our time's up for today. So thank you for joining me. As I mentioned, you will get the recording. You can also download the slides I showed you today. And feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn if you have any further questions about the job ads or Recruit Lab, and or if you want to quickly learn more about Recruit Lab, then you can always book a demo with us. I shared the link to the chat as well. Yeah, looking forward or feel free to join us on our next webinar. I'm really looking forward to it. It will be in August. We will have 2 excellent recruiters joining us, and we will talk about how recruiter experience impacts the candidate experience. So again, a lot of examples from really experienced recruiters. Thank you, and have a nice summer.